Oh, hello there. I see you've noticed the Yeti 1400 Lithium. We're going to be talking about this brand new battery today and why it might be one of the coolest pieces of tech this year. Okay guys, so delving into this thing, you can already see there's some immediate changes, right? The form factor, the size, these are going to be key elements. They've gone from 3 to 4 of the USB plugs, and as you can see, these are 5 volt, 2.4 amp, so not too bad. As far as info, a couple of additional pieces of cool tech here, like so you'll notice the input and the output. The output is actually changeable. So you can look at watt hours, volts, and amps in addition to just watts. Additionally, if this were plugged in, it's going to tell you on this side, charging, how long it's going to take to get to full, and then with output, how long will it actually last at the current rate. So kind of a cool feature there. And then of course your 12 volt outputs, the 2 light outputs, a kind of a cigarette lighter adapter here, as well as the Anderson. Also for input, you've got the regular input plug here, which is proprietary to Goal Zero, the Anderson, and then you'll see that they've kind of changed this up a little bit, and I'll open this thing. Rather than having to carry around or kind of manage the bigger inverter, they've kind of put a place here for it to just be housed and make it a little easier. So you just plug in the one cord into the module. But there are additional input plugs inside, so you definitely can charge this from multiple locations as well. Form factor, this is seriously more along the lines of the Yeti 400. It's getting, obviously not that small just yet, but getting very close. And weight-wise, I mean, you're talking about 40 to 45 pounds as opposed to the 1250 being, a little over 100 pounds. As you crack open the top, there's a little magnetic closure here, keeps it nice and safe. So it's a bigger storage compartment than the 1250 had. With kind of some cool options. Like I said, there is a little housing here for the inverter. So as I pop that out, you'll see the 2 little feet placement holders there. This is actually, again, just a hole in the front that allows for the AC plug to plug in. So as I seat that in there, push it into the feet, it's very solid, and I can just plug this right in there. Now you'll notice the little plug adapters right there. What's nice is Goal Zero's tried to make this a little bit more modular. So there's my wall plug, there's my instructions, both come with it. From everything they're saying, this is meant to also be kind of an expansion area as well. So as I open this up, there's a little panel here. Not really clear right off the bat what that's for, but I did notice on one of the videos that they are talking to, for example, some drone manufacturers for maybe a fast charging module for drones, those of you that are into photography and things like that. So just kind of maybe some supercharger options for up here. So definitely, future proof. They're thinking about what's to come and how they can really expand on this. But just, power to weight ratio, this thing is absolutely amazing. I'm really, really impressed. I've been carrying this thing everywhere. For me, it's light enough. I can just grab it and carry it around with one grip, and it does really, really well. So I'm impressed. We're going to give it a try here, test out a couple of things, and see how it does for us. All right, so we're going to give this a test of actually vacuuming. I was going to do some shooting in here, and my wife thought it might be a good idea to vacuum, so give it a shot. Let's see if this thing powers the vacuum. Yep, no problem. Look at that. Thing's running strong. That pulls a lot though. I have pulled my fridge away, right? So this is a a fairly full-size fridge here. Bottom freezer mount. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this on. In just a minute, we should hear the hum of the fridge turn on. And this number is gonna spike. There you go. So we're up to 620, 619. Very cool. And if I cycle through, it's gonna show us some of the other units. So 74 watt hours, 11.2 volts, 17.5 amps is what it's pulling. And you can see it kind of fluctuating. So it's in the middle of an actual cycle. So it's now settled down toward 200 watts. If I change this, it looks like we could run this thing at current rate for about 3-4 hours. That's what it's saying right now. Now, of course, that's going to fluctuate as well, because as this thing stops and starts its cycle, you know, that's going to play into it. They've said that ideally you could maybe get about 12 hours, I think it was. I'll double check. It's either 12 or 24 of a full-size fridge on this battery. I'll put the numbers here on the screen. But that's kind of cool. Again, assuming that I could run a solar input out through the window, throw it up like up on my roof, it means we could kind of sustain food storage in a lights out situation for a pretty good amount of time. Okay, so we're going to do a really quick test here with my deep freeze. As you can see, this is a big freezer module. I forget exactly how many cubic inches, but it's pretty big. It's the one with the 2 trays. We keep this thing usually stocked fairly well. Typically once a year we're going to get a quarter cow and fill it up. So it's an important and integral part of not just our food storage, but also our day-to-day and the way that we manage our food supply for a big family. So part of the reason I wanted to get a bigger battery was to see if, you know, we could prolong our food storage or sustainability through something like this. And obviously, you know, I'm excited to see how the battery is going to supplement that. Let's go ahead and power this up, see how we do. Alright, so what I'm going to do then is just kick this thermostat up a little bit. We normally keep it at 5. I'll kick this up to a colder temp. There it is. Just clicked on me. Okay, that's spiked up to about 900 watts. Let me check the amps. I can hear the motor going. I just don't know that it's at full capacity right now. I'll put that back down to 5 where we usually keep it. Right now it's saying it's pulling 7.7 amps. We're 75% on the battery. It seems like we're pulling, you know, it'll spike up a few hundred on the watts, but it'll jump back down to probably about 80 to 90. And on time until empty, it's still estimating about 10-11 hours. So I want to give it a little while to see how it runs at regular capacity. Again, we're usually right about 4 on the level. And let's see how it does for a little while. All right, guys, so coming back, it's been about 45 minutes. And, you know, taking a look at this thing, it looks like we're at about 72% of the battery. So it's gone down a few percentage points. Right now, obviously, hours to empty is pretty low because it's just not pulling wattage. Obviously, a freezer, it's going to be intermittent usage. But I'm pretty optimistic by the way that this thing is running things. It seems to be handling the amperage, handling the freezer. That's honestly a really big reason that I started looking into one of these bigger batteries, is to prolong my food storage, especially if I'm able to prolong this battery with some larger solar panels. Now, I would need to do some full day testing with that out in the sun. That's probably going to be for another video. Just to see if I could actually get that to work. And again, obviously that's subject to things like the weather, things like that. All right, guys, so sun is shining. We got a pretty good ray coming down. As you can see, it's hitting the panels pretty well. And right now we're looking at about 29 as a constant, which is interesting. I mean, obviously solar panels are they're not 100% efficient. And so they're rated for up to 100 watts. There it is. It just turned on. I started recognizing. So this one's pulling 40, 45. So this one's actually doing quite a bit better than the other panel. But that's interesting. I mean, it's definitely doing its job. It's charging. As you can see, I actually have this going into the secondary input up here in the top. There's like a little wire guide going through. Not too bad. So we're getting 92 watts with me laying out 200 watt panels. I think on a brighter day, if I had these aligned right to the sun, that could do it. But here's the thing. With these two, I'm getting as much out of the sun as I would be getting out of the wall plugging this in. So that's decent. So we've got it plugged into the wall here, and it looks like it's drawing about 60 watts right now. 59, 60. So, I mean, it's pretty close. Obviously, you know, there's a little bit of a difference between this and like one of the panels. If I'm getting about 40 to 50, it's saying that we've got, you know, about 8 hours until it would be full, based on 59 watts out of the wall. Kind of interesting. I mean, honestly, one panel, you know, as I mentioned, I found that one panel was actually covered in dust, so optimally, I was probably pulling between 40 and 50 watts from the sun off that 100 watt panel. And of course, I think it could do better, but the fact that I could maybe plug in multiple panels here if I have them means that I could maybe even have a little bit of an advantage, at least as good as the wall when charging this thing up. So that's pretty good. Again, assuming that I've got good sunlight. So all in all, the Yeti Lithium 1400 is a pretty amazing piece of tech, but it holds a high price tag at $2,000. Can you get more power for much less money in a gas generator? Absolutely, and they even make some pretty quiet ones too. But if you're already looking at Goal Zero gear, it probably means that you're shopping for the benefits that a solar generator brings over the gas counterparts. For example, they're silent, zero emission, zero fumes, and self-sustaining with a solar panel. Plus, I don't have to perform small engine repair. Also, when dealing with powerful batteries, the exploding hoverboards of a few years back come to mind, so I don't mind paying a little bit more for quality components, and not to mention some very smart tech built in. With the new form factor and lighter weight, this just became a very versatile option for a whole range of things, from lengthening my food storage options by powering my freezer, to backing up home office, as a fail-safe for medical equipment or a ham radio, keeping medicine cold, all the way to powering a home theater during a grid-down situation. Even with the high price tag, I feel this is a good investment for any prepper or outdoorsman. If you felt this video was useful, please feel free to like and subscribe. Also share with your friends. Thanks for watching.